Hey
Namaste.
guys,
Namaste.
जय महाराष्ट्र
Namaskar.
Jai Hind.
Jai
Jai Maharashtra.
Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji.
Jai Bhavani. Jai Shiva.
Greetings to one and all.
What's fans?
Okay. So Abhinav will introduce.
Hello everyone. Today we all have gathered. Simplicity has gathered online because of this lockdown. No one of us can meet physically each other, and also because a few of our bandmates don't reside at the same place that we do. So due to that, we've tried and collaborated online, and today we are about to discuss about on a few topics that would help you all to understand where we lie today and where we are about to move forward. So let's start.
I will rate 4.5 out of 10.
Come, thoda come. I think 3.7456.
So we have a lot of projects that we are currently working on, surprisingly or unsurprisingly.
We have 1, 2, 3,
We have around 4
4,
to 5 projects that we're working on
5.
currently.
5.
Around 5 projects.
So Dosi, do you want to talk a little bit about our
So, right now, as you can all notice that we have uploaded a video on Skype call 3. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out first. And currently we are working on cover also. That would be me and Dhruv working on that. And myself and Atharv, we are also working on one other cover. But I don't really know what is Abhinav doing. So
Abhinav is
So Abhinav is also working on certain projects, which you'll see. You'll have to wait for it, but you'll see.
you'll have to
And
wait for
Abhinav
like
is-
at least 2 or 3 years.
for the
So,
best results, you have to wait.
Yeah,
So keep
and
waiting.
Abhinav is helping us out with some background stuff. So even though he's not seen in the videos, he's there. Trust us, he's there. You can see him right now. So he's there.
We're also like Dosi and Atharva said, we're also working on a lot of projects at the same time, and it's especially hard because since we are not living together physically, like logistically, it just becomes harder to collaborate with each other. But we're trying our best to deliver something at least every week, if not twice every week. And what we are looking for is engagement at this point, because we realized that we had a lot of gap. We had a big gap between our last video and the video that Atharv and I recorded together, Trouble in Town. If you haven't checked that, please do. So we realized that there was a big gap, and to make up for that, we need to pump up content pretty regularly now onwards. And we realized that uh, we have divided that into mainly 2 or 3 sections. Like our covers would be something that would happen organically as we feel the need to, but we will also work on concept videos like the Skype video. We actually have a series on our Instagram, IGTV video series. It's called Clickbait Videos, and we're going to try to go with that theme. Try to make more clickbait videos, not with the intention of getting more clicks on it, just with the intention of trying to be funny.
Yeah, if we get that, that's fine.
But yeah,
We'll
but
take
you
it.
can of course like, comment, share, subscribe.
We'll take that.
If you
Yeah.
we're not going to we're not going to say no to clicks.
And the third thing is that we are also working on our originals. So, yeah, like you will see a single dropping in sometime soon.
So we are also writing a few songs. We are on our way to compose some OCs, the original compositions from our side, and also we are thinking to get a way out of how we would relaunch, or rather try to relaunch our previous album, the At the Age of 14. So we have a few hits. I'm sure I've a lot of people, lot of our friends, a lot of a lot of people who know us, they have they've come to us and they told us and they've given their feedback to us about a few songs that have been really popular. For example, we are gonna make it, and likewise. So we are trying our best to see to it that you get them as soon as possible at a very high quality audio quality range, with possibly a good music video too. So let's see how it goes, and we're sure.
And yeah, if you haven't heard our first album, it's fine.
It's probably good that they haven't heard the first album.
Exactly, because it has terrible audio, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's on SoundCloud. You can always
kind of
check it out.
Yeah, the thing is though, like we realized that we have grown a lot in the past 6 or 7 years that we've been together, and as a band and as friends as well, and we collectively decided to not delete our older stuff, even though it's kind of embarrassing for us to have that displayed.
Because that's where we started, and
right, exactly.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
And that just shows the growth of how, from where we came and where we are now. So that's
honestly, it's not that it's bad or something. It's just different. Right now we have sort of find like it's a journey that you explore. As
it's
you
about keeping all the memories back when for example, after a couple of years, when probably and hopefully we try and achieve something that we are on our words to, we would look back in the hindsight and enjoy all the memories that we cherished back then. So
the thing is, what I was saying is ki, we are not really looking forward right now. We're not looking forward to what would happen in 1 year or what would happen in 2 years. We are definitely enjoying what we're doing right now, and that's, I think, important for us as a band and as people as well, to enjoy what we are doing rather than having an intention of something returning a value to us in a later date.
Exactly.
And we are having fun doing what we are doing. And
exactly.
We want to produce as much authentic content as we can.
Yeah. And the Skype video has actually opened up to a lot of people that we are, looking forward to collaborate with. And just to keep that and not the on note, the Skype video is not the only thing. Like, you can always hit us for any collaboration. We are up, for any collaboration.
Anything that is parallel with creativity, that goes with creativity, you'll always have us on your side. Just hit us up, and then we can make some great stuff.
Yeah, because also, even within the band, we feel like we're collaborating not as a band because we're not physically together. So regardless of where you're from physically, you can just send us ideas. If it's super creative, we would obviously love doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also,
and I think there's been a theme that has carried forward throughout our vlogs, so I like to keep that.
Gibson pick.
About
Gibson pick.
Talking about my picks. So
do you still have it?
It's been a long time. No, the Gibson pick is gone, and so has the Fender pick.
Oh,
shit. Yes, but this is something I've been losing picks. So, I think a year ago or 2 years ago, one of my friends gifted me a whole set of these Dunlop picks. They're really cool. They have these great, graphics on it. So I have 10 of these. So these are doing pretty well. So now it's not Gibson, not Fender, it's Dunlop. So
it always was for me.
Well, let's see if we release a vlog in 3 years from now, and if you still have that Dunlop pick, then
I guess
most probably we would not have it. But
no. I guess in 3 years we'll have Simplicity picks, right?
Ah.
So
No,
yeah,
no,
sure.
no.
Must
That's a bit overshooting yourself, but yeah, okay. I'd say it's optimistic.
Definitely
Well, yeah.
optimistic, but yeah, if you want to see some of our merch, let us know in the comments. Like if you would like to see
Because
something
yeah,
something cool, some
T-shirts,
fun
pics,
funny
bags.
t-shirts. Yeah, t-shirts, pics. What else did you say?
Bands, wristbands.
Wristbands. Yeah.
something as simple as stickers.
Stickers as
We'll
well.
do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Because we have a graphic designer in our band.
yeah.
And he's pretty good at his job.
Yeah,
Pretty
he's-
damn good at his
Thanks,
job.
thanks.
he has an internship. He has 3 tasks, 3 projects he's working on now. Pretty busy guy.
Yeah, he works for free, so
Hey, he works for free. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, our current logo that we have is designed by Atharv. So,
Oh, actually, I'd like to.
It
give
has
that
been
credit
inspired by
to-
one of his friends, as I know.
I
And
think
he works on-
Shreya Saraf. Yeah, I'd like to give her the credits for that. Great job.
shout out.
And just to give a brief info, if you didn't know, I'm the lead guitarist. Abhinav is the rhythm guitarist. Dosi is the bass guitarist. We call him Bassy Dosi. And
you can also see my face out there.
That is the first time that I'm listening to this. Huh?
and Dhruv, he does everything. He sings. He plays acoustic guitar. He plays keyboard. I think he's a professional drummer most of all.
Yeah.
And
That's my secret
he
skill.
plays-
I've been hiding that for
yeah,
years.
that's a
to
secret
sum it
skill.
up, he's a lead singer, and also he takes care of all the background rhythm stuff that is needed for the songs. So yeah, he
Whatever that means.
is like
Yeah,
apparently he
yeah.
takes care of everything back in the back end
Those
to hold the song together.
Dosi, okay. Dosi, tell me something about bass that you've learned in the past 2 years. Like how have you grown as a bassist?
So basically, when I started with guitar, and all I had was this 3.8K acoustic guitar and Hobner guitar. So all the guitarists out there would know.
The Indian guitarist.
Yeah, the Indian guitarists.
Yeah.
Oh, some
Oh,
might
yeah.
also have Hohner or Hobner or something like that.
Yeah. Even
Somewhat
those are good.
in the same vicinity. Yes.
So basically, the way I started learning bass was on my guitar itself. First, I actually learned guitar, 16, and after learning it for 3 years, around 3 years, I actually I made these fellows. First of all, I met Dhruv in my coaching institute, and I saw his band. So Simplicity was not like I was not part of Simplicity in the beginning. That I would like to add here. And I met Dhruv, and we went on talking about music and stuff. He showed me Simplicity, and I was kind of really inspired by the quality of content and the musicality that was there. Because even I didn't know how professional stuff is done. So whatever was there, I liked that and wanted to be a part of this band. So
And it's been a love story since after
yeah.
after that.
So that kind of as I wanted to be part of Simplicity, that kind of encouraged me to learn bass because the bassist role or the bassist position was empty in fact. So Dhruv kind of inspired me to learn bass. First, in the initial stage, I was not really into that. But when I started understanding what bass is exactly and why is it so underrated and why people do not notice it, it's still that important for a song that creates such a foundation. So yeah, so it kind of really encouraged me to learn bass, and I started playing bass on my guitar. So
I think
used to
though
download-
in a way that's the beauty of the instrument, that like it's
Yeah.
you don't realize
Its
it's there.
presence doesn't like its presence is not known, but when it's absent,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you realize it. That's
all the groove
sure.
that you get you can feel it, but you cannot actually. Many times it gets unnoticed, but the groove is actually the bass. Yeah. So
And to be honest, Dosi has evolved next level. You can see some of our Instagram videos.
Yeah.
He plays everything from the basic bass stuff to slapping it as hard as you can.
Yeah, and like
Crazy stuff, man.
even as individual musicians, like I think as a band we've grown obviously, but even as individual musicians we continuously try to seek discomfort in a way, because like even playing metal for Dosi might be out of his comfort zone, or might have had been out of his comfort zone before, but now since he has extensively explored that genre of music, now it must feel comfortable to play that. So that's one thing that we constantly strive for as individual musicians as well.
Also, one thing I'd like to add is that I've noticed one thing in Dosi, and that is whenever he hears some song and any music for that matter, he can I believe that he hears the undertone of it and he can create a bassline out of it, which I haven't seen a lot of people do, and it is a pretty amazing thing because it is very difficult to hear something that's not audible and to make something out of it.
Yeah, I think that's special about
That
our
is-
band in general.
Yeah,
like
that is
that's what
makes him such a creative bass player, actually.
yeah, him
Integrated.
him and extending that to everyone also, like
yeah,
The-
everyone also.
the
It's not just
chemistry
me.
is noticeable because
Yeah, it's not just you.
no, I don't want to take credit away, but like I want to extend it to everyone because the thing is, if you were part of our in June 2018 we had a live performance. It was a pretty big deal for us back then,
Yeah.
and if you were part of that performance you must know that we have evolved quite a bit from before that, and since that time 2 years have passed and we've evolved much more now, and you can literally follow our growth on our Instagram or YouTube. You can see how we've grown throughout these years.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dosi,
So
continue.
yeah, even I have witnessed that. Like
Slapp, like if you are
around
part of that.
3 to 4 years
Yeah.
back, we did not have great sounds. We could not
Even if you weren't
create
a part of
good
that concert,
Yeah.
right? Like
Still slap.
but now things have changed
yeah,
a lot.
you can. Yeah.
Dosi, continue.
One pretty good example is okay. I'll digress a bit. One pretty good example of how we have grown from nothing to something at this point is that you can go back to our YouTube channel and watch some videos, old covers, such
Yeah.
as Everglow.
The glow. Yeah.
The first cover, not even that. The first cover, the Fix You cover that we
I think I think the first
That was, I think,
cover
back
was
in 2000.
Stairway to
Stairway to Heaven instrumentals.
Yeah, I guess I'm lucky I was not part of that.
Yeah. I wish sometimes I wish I wasn't.
Well, that's when I got this beauty. I think I can show that too, I guess.
So till he gets his guitar, I would like to continue. So
No, I won't get my guitar. This is it.
Arey, you need to put on some lights, bro.
It's fine. I think it's.
you're already not visible.
It's 2 a.m. in the night.
If you want to see and hear what his guitar sounds like, check out our Trouble in Town video. He's using the same guitar in that video.
Also, the Every Breaking Wave video by U2, that was a really good video, and his guitar sounded pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The tone, the tonality of
About what Dosi was saying in Everglow video, it would be actually interesting to talk a little bit about that video because we were such noobs in audio recording and everything. We were just trying to make it work. Like the Indian term for it is jugaad, just like making it work, making something work, And we didn't have a MIDI cable. For all the musicians out there, you know what MIDI is. So we had to record the keyboard by putting a condenser mic in front of its speakers. So
As professional as it
amazing
gets.
job actually. Yeah.
Sickest.
it is essentially like you are playing music on your Bluetooth speaker, and you're recording the music by putting a mic in front of that speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out it added up actually.
If you
And
listen
Yeah.
carefully, also
we
hear
could produce a video,
Yeah.
a good audio, and we could send it out to you guys. And it was a great thing, and we've learned, we've come a long way. And it has been quite a journey, yeah. And we are expecting more from it. Let's see how things add up and how things are in future. So
Oh yeah, and most importantly, we're gonna do these vlogs. It's fun. We actually hang out pretty often than most people would imagine.
virtually,
Virtually, obviously. So yeah, like send us anything you want to know, from Abhinav's contribution in the band to Dosi's evolution as a bass player to why have I not cut my hair. Anything is fine.
Yeah, we have a
Just-
lot to talk about.
And the secret behind Dhruv wearing that cap.
the
Hat.
Beanie.
Yeah.
It's a secret. It's a secret. It's a secret. It's a secret.
If you would like to see Dhruv without that beanie, you'll
Yeah.
have to.
If we
right
get
now.
if we get 100 likes on this video, I'll take off the beanie.
That's
Yeah,
yeah,
so
fair enough.
we would do that.
100 likes is a reasonable goal for me to take out the beanie.
It is actually a bit
Yeah.
above reasonable, but yeah, I think even 50 would do.
I think people would
No.
would do it to see me without a beanie.
I don't think so, but
Not that you're
No. I've had some requests already to take off my beanie.
As I was saying, I first started learning bass on my sixth string, and I used to kind of drop tune the strings, and the action would be like really low, and that sound like that would hardly resonate in the body, and you could actually not hear the what exactly I'm playing. I sometimes also had to like touch my ear to the body to be able to listen what I'm playing. So I did that for about 1 year or 1.5 years. The basic bass lines like Seven Nation Army and all those basic stuff I learned there, and that was actually not really learning part because on bass you have different fret size, like the fret distance would be different and the thickness of the strings would be different. So that sort of kind of gave me how it sounds. I did not actually learn very much about how you play, but how it should sound and how you should create bass lines. I learned about that in those 1.5 years, and after that, in my first year of my BTech, I bought this beautiful bass. You can see this square vintage modified.
Yeah. One thing, I think Dosi has that old bass also, right? That makeshift Hobner.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
actually
so
The black one.
So if you want to see that in its entirety and its glory, and if you want to hear that, you know what to do.
yeah.
Yeah, I think 100 likes for that beanie to get off of Dhruv's head. And
I
if you
think
can-
I
if
think
you
we
can
should
do-
I think we should increase that mark. 100. I think 100 people
No.
can do easily.
100 is enough for that, and I think 150, 200 for the original Dosi bass. What say?
Yeah, quite a nice deal, fairly nice deal.
I think
Nee,
we
let's
could do something
flip it. Let's flip it.
I think,
100 for Dosi bass, 200 for me to take off the beanie.
Oh man, that's a lot.
I think these guys can do better than that. Let's say 200 likes for both of them. What say?
Yeah, sure.
And
So simplicity is the name.
If you ever want to find out where we try to take our steam off, please contact Atharv Shringare, because that there is just he just has the right place, just the right place for us to go and to enjoy. So I
We
think
usually it's a yearly deal for us to go to Atharva's native place and chill
Yeah.
out for at least a week.
Well, yeah. Thanks, lockdown.
it's the best place, the most serene place that we've been,
And we
especially
bond together well when we don't have any
Oh.
outside interactions.
Yeah. By the way, that brings me back to, I think, back 2 years before we were playing the concert. We have a secret vlog that we have not published yet, which
Yeah.
is, I think us five. We had Dhananjay also with us in
Yeah.
a car talking about shit. If you would
And
like
we
to see that.
enjoyed it. Like
And the cool part about that vlog is that it was recorded a week before our live performance.
Yeah.
So that was a very interesting experience because we gelled as a band during that trip, and we performed after that experience. So we were performing as more like friends and less as bandmates. So it was a very interesting experience, and you can see that in our vlog. It's actually we had a lot of fun. That's actually probably one of the best times of my life.
exactly, and especially stargazing from his terrace.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I think-
has to be the
yeah,
best
I
thing
think-
ever.
I mean, not really looking up to things, but I think we'll do that once more, and we'll have a proper shot of it in the vlog for sure.
Yes, we would love to
Yeah.
do it. We would love to do it.
And yeah,
To show
just
you guys what
adding
we
on to
actually-
2030, I think I should have a few Gibson picks by 2030. Right?
For few of your own few of Gibson picks that you yourself
Signature
have bought, or
picks.
somebody else has given it to you.
No. It has to be signature picks.
Signature picks is what we are
Signature picks kya? You can sign any pick by yourself and call it your signature pick.
Not of that sort.
I think I'll have my signature guitar by then.
Yeah, guitar and
Oh.
That's a bit outrageous.
I think we're going into the territory of being cocky now.
yeah. So I bought this beautiful bass here in my first year of BTech, and that's where I actually started playing the real bass. But before that, I had also performed in some gigs with Simplicity, and there I actually used to jam on the bass only when we used to have a band jam together, or like some couple of hours before that. So I would jam with bass only at that time, and I would actually learn those bass lines with my this six string and all that jugaad, already told. And
Yeah.
so the first
Crazy level of skill. Like
I still remember the black bass
just
that we
crazy
used
level
to-
of skill.
Yeah, you can imagine how hard it must have been, like logistically also, because like think about it. Like I can say that about, let's say, a keyboard. Okay, I have a small MIDI keyboard, 21 keys, and then I practice all my parts on 21 keys, and then on the stage I have to perform with an 88 key keyboard. It's something like that. I can imagine how difficult it would have been, but like I mean, us still managing to pull it off, Dosi still managing to pull it off was pretty special back then, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hats off.
Thank you. So the first gig that I actually performed with the Legend Bass was this HFS gig. That if you haven't still checked out our videos, we have them on our channel. Please go there and check them out.
It's actually
They're
pretty funny
really
videos.
great.
By the way, HFS is Hiranandani Foundation School, and we were actually it's actually an interesting story. One of our friends, Karthik Nair, hi Karthik, if you're seeing the video, he got a request for his band to play at HFS, but they had some scheduling conflicts, so they asked us if we were free, and I mean, it was really nice of those guys to offer that to us, and we got like a 3-hour slot. It was just us, and
I really
For
enjoyed
like
that moment.
Yeah.
300 plus people that day. That was just
Probably.
crazy.
probably yeah.
Crazy level of shit.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
We had a ball. Like especially.
It was actually the first time that we played for us.
Such a huge crowd.
And we got paid.
And plus we got paid, yeah.
Yeah, we got paid, and when people came to watch Simplicity and not some show where Simplicity would be playing,
Yeah.
and that
Yes.
pretty much sums it up.
Summed it up, yeah.
yeah.
It was pretty special. If anybody is watching from HFS, thanks for inviting us. If you were part of that show, leave a comment down below. We would love to see what you are doing now, how you are doing in life now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would also
great
like to
experience.
thank Karthik for giving
His
his own
base, yeah.
gig. So it
Karthik,
was his
Sayan.
bass, precision bass that I played in that gig, and it was really an amazing experience, I would say, to perform in front of such a responsive crowd. And all of them, like most of them, were kids, and like that innocence that you see on their face while you're playing a song that they know what they like. So that was like a wholesome experience, I would say. I also learned a lot about performing in general, not just the playing bass, but performing in general. I guess I kind of started learning it too. And as a band, how to interact on the stage and what exactly is band chemistry on stage live. So that also I got to know about a lot. That was my basically first gig with an authentic bass. And apart from that, I also performed with science.
Hey everyone, if you've made it this far in the video, first of all, we'd like to thank you so much for watching our content and supporting us. It really, really means a lot to us. One quick thing that I wanted to say at this point is from this point onwards, for some reason, my screen recording software stopped taking the video part, but was still recording audio perfectly. So I don't know why that happened, but from this point onwards in this podcast, all you'll see is an image, but there'll be audio. So please hang on till the end. We've got some really interesting stories. Again, thanks so much for watching.
The red chord bass, yes.
It was a white chord.
No, this is the white one, the Lucy.
White one.
It's
Yeah.
called Dosi.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah, the white one.
Yeah, we have also recorded a cover with that, and I performed in the gig with that. So yeah, that's how I kind of like. I didn't have my own bass, so we always used to borrow these basses from all the other bands, and really thanks to them all, they have like kind of contributed to my own progress, or as a like the progress of simplicity in general. So yeah, and as I was saying, in my first year of BTech, I bought this beautiful bass, Fender Square Vintage Jazz bass, and that's where I kind of started giving it time in my own space and in my own, in my own leisure time. So that's when that was when I started exploring stuff. Initially, I was playing this soft rock and Coldplay and John Mayer stuff. So basically, in 1 month, I recorded the Edge of Desert bass cover, and I also worked with Dhruv.
Yeah, those two covers are actually both of our highest
Best
performing
performing.
videos on YouTube.
Yes.
So
Thanks to you all.
thanks to you all. If you want to check it out, I'll put the links in the description, or you can click somewhere here on the video.
Yeah, so Edge of Desire was kind of the first video where the first full-fledged video, like including the whole baseline of the song, I kind of recorded, and it was really fun to do that. After that, like over the years, I started exploring other genres too. I met some friends at my institute who had an interest in metal music that was like not really my kind of thing initially. I was more into soft rock, soft pop, and stuff like that. But then they introduced me to this genre called metal, and I was kind of really liking the technicalities and the intricacies that that genre has. Like it is for some people noise or not really, music to some people. But the thing that I liked was odd signatures and the technicality that you have to have to be able to play metal music. I kind of liked it because I also wanted to develop my skills as well as the music sense, of course.
That's actually a good point. That's actually a good point. I'd like to talk a little bit about that because as musicians, a lot of musicians I know, they tend to stick with their genres, and it's like a comfort zone. It's easy to play what you know already, but in order to in order for you to grow as a musician, I think it's critical to explore new genres. And you can have your own style, but you need to pick things from different genres and make it yours, in a way. I don't know, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
I
exploring
agree to it. I agree to it.
exploring is a
You
part
you need
of
to
the
you
journey.
need to have a vast variety of music that you hear
Yeah.
occasionally, rather regularly actually,
You
because
should.
when you hear different kinds of music, you start to learn different grooves, and that is when you can use them to make your own music more creative than ever before.
Yeah,
And
because
Yeah.
that is
Yeah,
something that's
and
very
it's a
If
important.
you
mix
don't
and
know what's out
match.
there, you won't know what is your type, right?
yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
what exactly interests you, you won't find it out unless you find out what all is out there.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and it's
that
a mix and match of everything. Like it's nothing specific. Like you don't have to set out on a journey. It's not a checkbox. Okay, now I checked off hip hop. Now I do metal. Not that sort of shit. You just go on this journey.
yeah,
You
just
explore what music styles you like, you don't like. It's up to you. And yeah, you'll find your thing.
yeah. And
That's
how
all I can
important is
say.
it to have an open mind about this? Like, it's like metal is not necessarily my style of music. I don't partake in listening to metal. I probably have never listened to metal like voluntarily in my whole life.
Yeah,
But
even me.
if you tell me, okay, that okay, this is a song, or even as a matter of fact, we'll talk more about this when it's an episode related to me. But just a little bit about what I've done in the past few years. I've concentrated a lot on jazz and blues, um, because as a keyboard player, as a piano player, for me to improve my technique and skills, jazz is probably the best way I can improve my technique. So and plus, if I want to learn music theory, jazz is probably the best way to learn music theory, or classical music. But I don't necessarily, Western
Yeah.
classical music is not necessarily my type. um, and I mean, what Dosi said, it's important, because you won't know what you like unless you try everything. uh, I tried jazz and I really found an affinity towards jazz. But yeah, Dosi, go ahead.
yeah.
I mean, like, yeah,
So
and an important thing
yeah,
is that in another genre, you see certain elements that you might not use for that particular, style also. Like,
yeah,
I, I, I do listen to metal at times, and I quite like it, certain aspects of it. But the thing that metal really like introduced to me was the drop D tuning, and since then I've composed a few songs which have nothing to do with metal at all. They're far from it, but the technicality of like the things that you can create with a drop D tuning,
yeah.
it just opens up different avenues, like small things, small
Yeah, it's
example,
that's
but
that's a good point, because like you learn these tools from different genres. You gather these different tools, and then you plug and play those tools into your own compositions. So
Yeah.
it's if anything, it's important to explore different genres.
Yeah, so both of them, like said, I would like to add to that. Like when I started learning metal, it was this technique part that I could develop. So initially, I didn't really, I wasn't into tapping and slapping stuff and all that you could do on bass. I didn't
slapping the bass.
Yeah,
slapping the bass. Yeah, yeah. So I really wasn't much into that, but metal was a genre that introduced me to all such techniques, such as tapping, harmonics, and even the slapping. So it was quite a rewarding, uh, rewarding thing for me to go into metal and discover that genre. And I would like to give that credit to my friends and, of course, the bands that I listen to. The most inspiring band for me out of all them was Dream
I
Theater
see what's coming. Yeah.
because of their technicalities and the time signatures they use. They're just crazy, and I mean, even with all the technique and all the skills, it sounds as a music. Like it sounds music. It's not something like noise or it's not something arbitrary. It sounds music, and that's the thing that I really like. And in metal also, like people have this prejudice that it is always about the technique and fast, and you have to go crazily fast. But it's really not always about that. Melody also quite matters there,
Yeah.
and there are sections where in the songs where you have melody important, and all the drums and even the bass lines would be quite mellow though. So it's not essentially always fast and noisy. And yeah, that's what I learned. And I would also like to add this. I started exploring anime culture. So I actually used to watch anime. I never really heard Japanese songs, Japanese rock or Japanese pop, but this anime stuff that I used to watch that kind of introduced me to Japanese metal and rock stuff, and it was really inspiring for me to the skill level that they have and the understanding and the creativity that even those people have. They are like kind of not their style does not resemble what we have as Western genres.
Yeah, they're crazily underrated.
Yeah, underrated.
That's one thing that I've noticed. Crazy skill, crazy talent, but not really, known for it.
That was like some stuff worth checking out, and I also quite learned a lot from that stuff. So this was basically metal and Japanese songs, and of course soft rock and soft pop. That is like our band's forte, I would say. And yeah, recently I've been quite focusing on improving my techniques as well as creating some original bass lines as well. But yeah, that's what I've been recently doing, and that's where I've come now. It's been now around 2 to 2.5 hours. I'm sorry, 2 to years.
Yeah, it's been 2
weeks.
But like with the band, it's been longer, no? It's been 4 years almost. I think in 16 we started with the Alankar. And
17ish, I guess.
17ish we were like established pretty well.
We Dosi joined 3 years back.
By the way, we started our band
7 years back.
2013.
Yeah. 2013, where these two guys met.
No, we actually we knew each other through friends, me and Dhruv.
Yeah, we had some mutual friends, but we didn't like hang out together.
Yeah, we used to go swimming together.
Let's keep it for another episode.
Yeah, that's another episode in itself.
It's gonna become heavy.
I would just like to finish with my conclude my story with saying that like
conclude your story.
Let's not conclude it.
Yeah.
Keep it running.
Yeah, of course.
Just to sum it up,
Let's just sum it up.
Summarize what I've experienced. So, like, basically, it's not
basically.
Okay, puns.
No pun intended.
Coming your way. No pun intended. Okay.
Basically,
things that I learned, like, so a couple of things that I think I learned were being a part of a band where we have the forte of the band is soft rock and soft stuff. Even rock we perform, but not metal. It's really good to explore such genres out there personally, on a personal level, to be able to contribute to your own band. It does not really, it does not go to waste at all. You learn a lot of things, and you learn music, basically. And of course, it's not just the sense or, or the music sense you have, it's also about the skills that I've learned all through my experience. So that is like, I would like to summarize it in those two points. So, yeah. Thanks to all my bandmates, because they have been quite encouraging me always. So Dhruv was the guy who inspired me to play bass, and Atharv and Abhinav, they have been constantly encouraging me to play bass, and of course they have been complimenting like few details of like how I play and how I should play. They have been guiding me all this too. So I guess it really matters that I've been part of such a band, and I think I'm really
I think that's a general sentiment with our band in general, because we don't feel like, obviously we want to do better as a band, so there is no sense of jealousy, no sense of him doing better than me. Oh, what if he does better than me? We want each other to do better
It
than
is
everyone.
always about upfront confrontation.
Yeah,
Always.
we talk.
It's always constructive.
Yeah, it's always constructive. It's never like and there is no intention of harming anyone. This is
There have been instances when we argue to death, literally to find the right conclusion to the topic
Yeah.
that we started arguing.
Not to kill each other.
Yeah.
And not to kill each other.
And all this is for the band. That's important to note. Like, that's, I think,
Yeah.
special with our band, because we don't have band drama as such. We have drama when we're trying to find out the best outcome.
It mainly is because we are friends
Yeah,
much
that's exactly what I
deeper
was
than,
gonna say.
than the band
Yeah.
as a whole.
Yeah.
And that is what
Yeah,
keeps
and
it
how
going.
important is that? Like, you're not professional musicians hanging out together. You're friends playing music on stage, and that really shows in your performance. And
We can, I and Atharv and Saurav, all three of us, especially on the guitar, on the strings rather, we always, when someone laughs over a lick, we understand that this guy is playing something either exciting or something redundant, and all three of us, we see each other, and that's when we understand, yes, we are having a moment right now.
the way I see it is, you can either speak music or you can't speak music, and it is important to be able to speak music, to be able to communicate with just music, because on stage, that's the only way you communicate.
When we played Iridescent, all four of us, we were smiling
it's
screaming, and we are enjoying the moment thoroughly.
It's so hard to define, right? Like, it's not something that we have practiced, right? That this is the moment that we look at
it's
each
just
other.
natural.
It's every time it's intuitive, every time it's natural. It just happens that I'm looking at, say Dhruv, Dosi, or Abhinav, and he's looking right back at you, and you're in that moment. It's something else, and
It is just a matter of one smile that takes
That it's actually a very divine moment, because that you are like one person in that moment. Like, that's a very special thing. I don't think any other art form gets to experience that, like, in groups.
might be, I don't know.
As much important it is to communicate with the audience that you are performing in front of. It is also important to communicate with your own bandmates.
Right.
because
If you
that
can't
really creates
if you can't talk
And the
music with
best
each
part-
other, then how can you talk music with the audience?
and,
Exactly.
and possibly the best part of us communicating just by looking at each other is the best experience. We never used to, we whenever we play live, we never go and say, you need to play this lick, or you need to play this chord. We just look at each other and we're like, yeah, I need to play this thing, and I better play it, because if I don't, then maybe the other person would mess it up.
Yeah.
Just because of me.
Yeah.
The thing is, we introspect quite a bit, and we know that we're not perfect musicians. Obviously, we'll probably never be perfect musicians, but
No one can.
we are trying to be, and we try to inculcate this idea that we are extremely stringent during our practice sessions, extremely critical during our practice sessions, but during our live performance, we don't speak with each other that much, because all has been said and done in the practice sessions, and if we've practiced well, we don't have to worry about our live performance. That's the way we see it, at least.
And one thing that we've kept a constant is that whenever we perform, the day we perform, we don't practice, and also the day before, so
Yeah.
that we can enjoy our time before we start and do the
I think
what we say, the great
we'll take you through our back of the stage sort of stuff
Yeah.
once we do a live show. Once this
There are
lockdown
a lot of
gets
things
over,
that we need to talk about. Yeah, there are a lot of memories and a lot of
once this
aspects
lockdown
that go
gets
into
over.
making music. It's just not about learning and knowing how to play. It's also about contributing to the band, the camaraderie, as they say, which is extremely important. That is where the name band comes, right? It's a group of people who come together and play. It's not
And
about individual.
yeah, especially during this time with the whole lockdown thing going on, I can imagine how incredibly hard it must be for musicians, especially for touring musicians who are currently in the music business. It must be incredibly hard for them to make a living. And at a time like this, all that we ask for you guys is to support artists. So keep supporting artists, not just us, but everyone who is in the art field, everyone who's trying to make a living out of their art. Because this is probably I don't think I personally have experienced a time worse than this
No one has. No
in
one
my
has.
life, even as a musician and as a person.
As a person, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that sort of ends it up pretty well, I guess.
yeah.
Sums it up pretty well.
And yeah, remember
Yeah,
guys, 200 likes, no Beanie. And
Okay, 200.
and
I think it is a bit
original bass.
overshooting
Dosi's
ourselves right now.
Dosi's walkthrough of
I
his
guess it's fine.
original bass.
Original bass, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
With tones.
With
right?
tones. With tones
Yes. Plugged in.
plugged in. And
You can, I guess.
yeah, 200 likes is a pretty decent goal to have.
Yeah. Decent goal to have.
On a YouTube video.
Guys, please don't make me. Actually, I should say, please make me take off the beanie. I really don't want to, but
It's a plethora of surprises coming.
the
your
fact
way.
that I don't want to take off the beanie should probably encourage some of you to hit the like button and keep supporting us, man. Like we're trying to be the best we can.
Yeah.
And if you like these sort of videos, then definitely leave a comment in the comment section and let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know if you want us to do something else. If you have any other creative ideas, we're always open to hearing them.
Always. Please tell us. Please hook us up, and we'll be more than happy to do things.
Okay.
Just that pleases you, just to make you happy, and also which makes us happy.
Atharva, ending comments.
Yep. I think that pretty much sums it up.
That is all that he has to say, right?
No, wait, I have one more thing to say. It's fucking 3 o'clock right now, I guess.
No.
And maybe 2:30, 2:33, it's late at night. I don't think we're gonna sleep, but yeah, I think it's good time to conclude anyways.
Dosi,
I
ending
guess.
thoughts.
It's been quite an experience to talk about my own experience.
It's actually
So,
it's
yeah.
actually good now. Like we're introspecting a lot
Yeah.
now. We're talking about our own
Exactly.
experience.
Going back to
Yep.
how and what you have been learning all
Yeah.
those years, and it
And
was really helpful to go back. And right now I'll be focusing on learning new stuff. That motivates to keep me going.
Yes.
Indeed, had a
I
great
think,
time.
I think this is less of a vlog and more of a podcast of who simply.
Hey, it seems like a
Exactly.
podcast. It seems like a podcast
Yeah,
actually.
And I really seem to
That
like
gives
it.
me that gives us a great idea. If you think this is a great idea, if you like to watch something like this, we would love.
Yeah, I
I'm
have
happy to shoot
just-
a podcast every week and just load it up.
just from what Abhinav said, since we think that it's like a podcast sort of thing. I already have a bunch of ideas now. Like we can talk about deconstructing music. We can talk about different artists. We can talk about. There's so much stuff to talk about. We can talk about that for hours.
Yeah.
So
About how
We can talk
started, where
about
we are, how we are
cutting
going
hair.
forward,
We can talk
everything.
about brushing teeth.
yeah.
Just about the general things that revolve around
Yeah.
musicians.
We don't want to be a vlog
That
channel. We
was
don't
our
want to.
focus.
We don't vlog ourselves taking a dump. But
There were-
I'll
Dosi
end with
show.
some final thoughts. This experience turned from a vlog into a podcast, which is amazing. I will make a playlist on YouTube called podcasts, and we'll do more stuff like this because I am personally having fun doing this. Um,
Yeah,
and
everyone
I'm
is having fun, I
I'm
think.
sure you guys are having fun soon. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we can monetize our videos, at least make some money out of it, you know. And hit that like button, and leave a comment if you think you like this. Leave a comment regardless. Leave a comment if you're Indian. Leave a comment if you're Italian. Leave a comment if you're American. Leave a comment if you're from Mars. I don't give a, but leave a comment. And
Yeah.
this is it, I guess. All right, cheese bags.
Signing off.
Bye.